It's the NFL on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Chargers and the Panthers, and it comes your way next.
Our coverage of the NFL brings us to the southern end of the Tar Heel State and to this beautiful venue, Bank of America Stadium here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Hi there, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. You picked a fun one to tune into. I'm Kate Scott, joined by former NFL quarterback Brock Huard. And we've got two quarterbacks here, Brock, who are known for playing a very exciting brand of football. Not just throwing the rock, but taking it themselves, too.
Yep, these are two of the guys who really epitomize the direction that this position's going in the modern NFL.
Yep.
Pocket passers, they'll have their place. They always will. But a lot of teams look to somebody like this as the default. A great passer, but someone who can also mix in plenty of rushing yards and keep that defense honest.
Everyone's still celebrating the return of regular season football, and we're away in week 2. Raheem Blackshear now to return. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. So now out comes the Panther offense for its initial drive of the game. Bringing him out, coming off a tough rookie season as the top pick in the 2023 draft is Bryce Young.
That's a loss last week, Kate, that he wears. He's worn it all week long, and I know he isn't the only guy out there. There's 11 on the side on every play, but a couple of interceptions, he's going to hold himself accountable. A lot of work's gone into making sure this week's game is an improvement on that.
First play, and Young's gonna pass. And his game will begin with an incomplete pass. All right, Brock, getting a look now at their draft class from this year, and some haters on the outside for this class, but I know inside the building, they're real excited about this group.
You know, one thing, Kate, I've learned, meeting scouts out on the road, especially on the college level, I'll talk to them, they'll say, different organizations, like, yep, this guy's a Raven. Yep, this guy's a Seahawk. Yep, this guy just fits who we are. The elite programs, they don't care about the noise on the outside. When they see a fit to their team and their organization, they go get them. And that's what I see in this draft class. That's a defense's goal, right, Kate? Just get us to third down so we can have a chance to get off the field. And that was a good adjustment on that stop in particular, when the back ended up being the target, and they were able to keep them short of the sticks.
On third down, it's Young. It's caught. That's Thielen. And he's down after getting this up to the 41. They'll move the chains after that pickup of 12.
Well, that is pretty darn impeccable timing between the two. To hit a curl route of that length, it takes great anticipation and precision by the quarterback, and the receiver on the other end finishing it, doing his job.
First and 10 from the 41. Sticking to the air, it's Young. And this time they're going to get there, and they drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. Second down coming up.
At the 30-yard line.
They'll go from the gun with Sanders. And he found some running room for a nice gain. They get 9 yards back, but third and 11 still to come.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid gain, but it's also a run that you know, and you may come back to, because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of a defense.
Trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop him. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of fourth down.
Couple sacks on the opening drive. You better get to fix-it mode in a hurry. And I'm talking about on the sidelines. I'm talking as a quarterback. You've got to solve this pass rush, because we know one thing about guys in this league defensively. When they get a couple sacks, they can smell it, and they're going to raise the intensity to another level.
And some textbook work covering that punt. It is stopped after almost nothing on the return. So now we'll get a look at the other offense as the Chargers take the field. They'll be led out by the fifth-year pro who can really fill up a stat sheet, Justin Herbert.
Hey, let's be honest. The only reason the Chargers drafted in the top 5 was because Justin Herbert wasn't available all season long. An injury cut short his year, but it really didn't cut short his production while he was playing. Still over 3,000 yards and 20 touchdowns. Kid, I can tell you, this is one guy that I love. I mean, I love to watch throw a football.
Herbert throwing right away. Catch is made down the right sideline. And he breaks into enemy territory before being stopped on a huge gain.
Now, right there, that's what you want to see on your opening drive. Boom! Connect on a big shot, and instantly you set a tone that you're not going to be afraid to be aggressive in this game today. Boy, do I love that.
Now we've got a challenge. Dave Canales not happy with that last call.
Previous play is under review.
Well, we all know there can be so little room for error spotting the football, and that's what's being reviewed right here. Did they get this right?
And I know both sidelines are furiously pleading their cases about what their eyes see. But fortunately, the eye in the sky and the replays will give us a clear answer.
So a very early challenge, but a good one. Calls overturns, and that's going to unlock a third challenge for them if it gets to that point later in this game. And he takes it just inside the 40, down to the 39.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully like him that can create space, just find a way to get him the ball.
And he'll get this down to the 33-yard line. They get 6 and a first down as well.
Well, looky here. You don't even have to worry now about a third down call as that run moves the sticks. Now that call you had ready, though, you can recycle it. Save it for later for that next third down coming.
Here's Herbert, 1st and 10. Cut out left. And he pushes this down to the 22-yard line. It's a pickup of 11. And it brings up an LA first down.
When you see play action, do all you can to get your eyes to the tight end, because that's their bread and butter. That play action gives him time off the line, helps chip a rusher, or even helps sell that fake. And then when he releases, he gets out, he gets some leverage.
And this time they're going to get there, and they drop it. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
All right, first sack on the board on the first drive as a defense, and now we let the chess match begin. The adjustments begin, because we know pressure leads to sacks, and sacks in this league often leads to wins.
Offense to the line for 2nd down. Trying again following the sack. Bails out of the pocket quick. Completed to Hurst. And he's down inside the red zone before hitting the deck.
It's what these quarterbacks are having to do more often now than ever before in football. Show off a little mobility. Get outside the pocket and find that open man.
It's 3rd and 8. Need to get a chunk here. Shotgun snap to Herbert. Complete beyond the marker. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They get 19, and now they're going to have 1st and goal.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
Dobbins goes up and over for the touchdown. The Chargers drive the length of the field and take a 6-0 lead. J.K. Dobbins with the touchdown. No doubt about that one, Brock. They softened that defense up with that lengthy opening series, and then the front just couldn't stand up to the run as they reached the end zone.
Yeah, the numbers tell you, kind of just like baseball, you love home runs, you love explosive plays, but when you can play small ball and you can keep that defense gasping on the field, you can often run it right down their throats in the red zone.
The Chargers kicking team is out, and they'll put a charge into this one. Blackshear on the return. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. The Carolina offense out and ready to go for their 2nd drive. And they're certainly hoping for some better results here after that first drive ended in a punt. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Motion man sent left. Here's Young on 1st and 10. He gets this one to Peoples-Jones. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
Just one play into this drive, and they're already sitting on their own 45. Young on 1st and 10. Throw complete to Thielen. And he's able to cross midfield before going out. We get a look here at the receiving numbers for him from last week. Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. One of the tight ends motioning right. Here's 2nd and 5. And the cover just too good there. Didn't find a throw that he was confident in, so just throws it away. 3rd down coming up. Out of the gun, Young. And he just gets rid of this one, but unfortunately, that means 4th down coming up.
There was almost no resistance offered against a rush that came off the line ready to maul anything in sight. It was all the QB could do to get rid of that before he gets absolutely clobbered.
4th down, and on comes the punt team, and the kick's away. This punt out of bounds on the fly. We're waiting for the mark. Looks like they're going to say it's short of the 30. We will not get another play in here. That's going to do it for quarter number 1. Neither side separating much so far. We'll take a brief pause and head back to Bank of America Stadium after this. We're back and all set for the 2nd quarter. Charger football. They got this after forcing a punt at the end of 1. Beginning on the ground here with Dobbins. And not a lot of room for him as he's brought down. Give him a few yards on that run. It's 2nd and 7.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
This is reeled in by Joshua Palmer. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. A big play, 23 yards to move those chains.
I'm sure coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42. Now an inside handoff to Dobbins. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
Some backs are easier to tackle than others. Some, well, they just choose violence. They look for those opportunities to bust through tackles and keep those legs pumping.
1st and 10 now from the 30. Herbert from the gun. And his perfect start is over. And that's the first one of his throws to wind up incomplete. No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Back to the air, Herbert. Toward the sideline, and he's got it. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with 1st and goal.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
Four downs now to get in. Here's 1st and goal. Working inside the red zone. And look at the footwork there. Touchdown. The Chargers get another 6 to make this a 13-0 game. No hesitation on that throw. He got the guy he wanted right away, and he got it to him for the touchdown.
You know, it's great, Kate, to draw up plays that have all sorts of different options, but it's even better when you don't have to get to your second read. His first broke open just like they planned, and that's 6 in the end.
Dicker on now for the PAT. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Chargers double their lead to 14.
Panthers nothing.
The Chargers kicking team is out, and they'll put a charge into this one. Here's a return from the 7. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. Carolina about set to go once again offensively. They haven't been able to get that offense going just yet, Brock. The deficit at 14. To the air on 1st down. Young toward the sideline, and he's got Leggett. And he crosses the sideline a yard or 2 beyond, it looks like the 30.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on 1st down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Sanders on a shotgun handoff. And this defense offering no room at all up the gut there. No gain. Tackled on the play by Puna Ford. No gain on the play, and it leaves them with 3rd and 5.
Job one of so many D tackles in this league is eat up space. Don't get moved off your spot. But the difference makers, they just not only eat the space, they eat those runners too.
That's caught for the 1st. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your 3rd downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
1st down now, ball at the 39-yard line. On the give, it's Sanders. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Here's 2nd and 11. Has him on the quick hitter. Give him 30 yards on that one. And that'll be good for a Carolina 1st.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt, or an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
So the complexion of this drive has changed dramatically now. New set of downs inside the 35. Handoff here to Sanders. And he sneaks this through the middle, maybe a gain of 2. We've hit the 2-minute warning now at the vault. And it's the Panthers, lined up with a 2nd and 8. Shotgun snap now to Young. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact.
You know, the goal on a lot of these short throws is to simply let the receiver create some yards after the catch, that yak. Well, I think he was thinking about the yak before he actually secured the catch.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got third down. Now it's Young. He finds Sanders. And he crosses out of bounds, so now we're going to learn who the penalty flag is on. Well, we knew it, Brock, and now they know it too. That one was on their defense.
Automatic first down.
This drive just keeps on moving. After the penalty, resets that marker. Young working from the gun. Escapes the pocket. He takes it himself. That's a pickup of 17 yards, partner, and it makes it 1st and goal.
You know, these are the type of plays that really get an offense going. This is a chance for a QB to inspire the guys around him. Calling his own number, carrying his teammates to a 1st down on that big run. That inflates an offense, and it can suck the wind out of that defense.
And it's cut in the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. The Panthers making a one-score game before halftime. All right, partner, what do you think? Was that a design read, or did he just see space and he was reacting more on the old quarterback instinct there?
Yes. I think yes on both of them, and that play happens so fast that it really is instincts on both sides.
Eddie Pinheiro on now for the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Panthers chop the lead in half. It's down to 7. And just like that, we're back to a one-possession ball game as the kickoff is away. On the return, it's Jalen Reagor. And look at this return. And they'll start this drive in good position, a little shy of the 40. Out comes the Charger offense late in this first half. And with all their timeouts remaining, Brock, they may be able to put a little something together here before halftime. So the Chargers start off with good field position as they get ready for 1st and 10. Working from the gun here, it's Herbert. Short throw is dropped. This one's incomplete.
You know, Kate, we see this all the time at every level of football. You've got to catch it first. It's just like when a receiver receives a handoff. You got to secure the ball, then let your athleticism take off.
A good defensive play breaks that one up. And things look tougher now with 3rd and long. To throw, Herbert. And that's incomplete. He's going to wish he hung on to that pick there, but it's still going to bring up 4th down.
I'll tell you this, Kate, they doubled him knowing that was where the pass was likely headed. That's doing your homework. A bit surprising QB still threw it in that direction with how well the defense had that one covered.
Fair catch, but we can see both a flag and a punter on the ground. Let's see if this is a call for 5 or 15 yards. A fortunate break for them as they get a gift with roughing the kicker. Their offense heading back out to keep things going. This drive should have been over, partner, but running into the punter gives him new life and this 1st down. And he's not quite that fast. Let him just a bit too much. That's incomplete. Couldn't connect on 1st. It's 2nd down. Now Herbert again. Couldn't bring it in over the middle. Incomplete.
Hey, Mr. Quarterback down there, that's a throw that's got to go somewhere else. Double coverage was waiting for it. QB super fortunate that ball wasn't picked. And incompletion, still pretty good for the defense, too.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Herbert to throw once more. That one's cut along the left sideline. That goes as a gain of 25 yards and picks up the 1st.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of third downs just like that.
They're now set for 1st and 10. Herbert throwing again. And that's incomplete. A little lucky there, too. Nearly picked off on 1st down.
That was it. That was their chance to escape this series. They were looking for a way out without giving up any points, and that was their ticket off the field. Unfortunately, he just couldn't quite hang on.
And they bring him down at the 18-yard line. Timeout called by the Chargers. They're first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime.
When you don't have great success on 1st down, Kate, it's a little bit like a hitter in baseball falling behind in the count. And all you want to do as a hitter is get back to a fighting chance. Give yourself a better count. That play, well, it does the same here. Now a much more manageable and opportune 3rd down situation.
Pass is cut at the 9. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
First and goal, Chargers.
LA uses a timeout here. It's 2nd. And they still have 1 in their pocket for what's left of this half. They'll break the huddle and come up on 1st and goal. Back to throw. Here's Herbert. And oh, he got it! Interception! J.C. Horn to pick it off.
Well, that's it right there. That's the resilience and the mental toughness that every coach wants to see from his defense. Not a great spot for him. Backed up close enough that they're going to get shots taken in the end zone. But instead of collapsing under pressure, they rose up and they created the takeaway.
Only 10 seconds remaining here, so 1st and 10 may be our last snap of the half. All right, keeping it simple. They're just going to call a give right up the middle. And he's brought down, but there's some laundry on the field. Easy call for the officials there. He was offsides at the snap, and that's going to cost him.
Still 1st down.
A 1st and 5 to begin this drive following the penalty. Yep, as expected, they go to the ground to start this one off. And 2 yards is all he's going to get before he's caught. Stopped by Deion Henley. We've reached the break. The Chargers visitors, but fighting out to an early advantage. Now we'll send you down the East Coast to Orlando. Turn things over to our buddy Jonathan Coachman in the EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Kate, we'll get back to you and Brock in a bit. For now, plenty of early action in the 1 o'clock Eastern window to get you caught up on. So let's get to it. We'll begin up at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. And it's the Ravens out in front as that game moves towards halftime. The Ravens seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. From there, we head over to Detroit. Check on the Lions at home, Ford Field. And you can see, currently they trail in that ball game. Baker Mayfield with a couple of touchdown passes. Finally, we'll save the biggest for last as we head to AT&T Stadium to see what's happening with the Cowboys at home in Arlington. As you can see the score there in the 2nd quarter. Jalen Tolbert, a touchdown reception. We were treated to a fine first half from running back J.K. Dobbins. He had a touchdown run that helped get his guys this halftime lead. These 2 teams heading out of the tunnel, and we're ready to get back to it. For the call of the 2nd half, here is the great Kate T. Scott. Kate, these 2 teams making their final adjustments for the 2nd half ahead. It's time to get back at it. For the call, let's rejoin Kate Scott and Brock Hewer.
Thanks so much for the look around the league, Coach. But now it's time to turn our attention back to this one as we begin the 3rd quarter. Rager with the return here. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. Los Angeles getting its offense set to go to begin the third. And they really leaned on that passing game in the first half, Brock. Let's see if that emphasis continues to start the third. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Looking to throw here and shake off that previous INT. He throws a bullet deep. That's complete inside the 35-yard line. It's a huge pickup on the play. And the Chargers will have a first.
Speaks to this guy's talent as just an all-around difference maker, playmaker. We see him line up as a receiver, and we don't even bat an eye, Kate. And we don't really bat an eye when he makes that kind of play either. This guy's just different, built for the moment.
So the big play has him well into enemy territory and field goal range. They're inside the 30. He's looking deep once again. And he has the catch, gets both feet in, that's a touchdown! The Chargers grow the lead coming out of halftime. Loud McConkey with a touchdown! Wow, just fantastic work there. Tiptoeing along the back line. The concentration was there. Great catch for 6.
Yeah, the concentration and the body control. I don't know how these receivers do it in this day and age. There's no space to work with, yet they have such an awareness to secure it first, to tap dance the line, and go get that touchdown.
Now we'll pause. The officials want to take a good look at this and confirm it was indeed a touchdown. Well, this right here is where having all those camera angles comes into play. We're going to get a much clearer picture thanks to all the shots we've got.
Yep, technology, everybody's friend right now. We get to watch it again and again, unlike these officials who got to see it once in real time. We just have to see, is there clear enough evidence to overturn the call that was made down there on the field?
No change to the call on the field. That play's going to remain a touchdown. Dicker tacks on the extra point. And the Chargers double their lead to 14.
Panthers 7.
The Chargers kicking team is out, and they'll put a charge into this one. Blackshear on the return. He stopped on the return at the 27. The Carolina offense headed out now. Their work really cut out for him now, partner, to follow up that touchdown and get things back to a one-score game. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Trying the inside handoff to Sanders. He's able to drive that pile about a yard. Sent to the ground by Khalil Mack. Just a gain of 1, and that brings up 2nd and 9. Now Young. That's knocked away by a defender, incomplete. Clean breakup on that throw. So they're left facing 3rd and long.
It's now 3rd down and 9 yards to go.
Here's Young to throw. Legette's got it. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. That one hits for 30. And it'll give the Panthers a 1st down.
This defense did the best they could to track him as he ran all the way across the field, but eventually, you're just going to lose him. And that's when a completion was made and turned it into a significant gain.
So the big play gets him inside the opposing 45, Brock, with a new set of downs to boot. Sanders running dead ahead. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
As a play caller, Kate, I would always be a little cautious of a 1st down draw. I like it better when that defense is anticipating pass. Well, they were only anticipating getting the backfield and making that running back feel the pain.
Everyone's prepped. It's 2nd down now. Young throwing here. This is reeled in by Leggett. And that will not be enough for a first down.
You know, Kate, over the years, I have heard defensive coordinators say, hey, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. You got to earn the right for me to call blitzes. And when you call a blitz and you don't get home and you don't hit the quarterback, you've earned nothing.
Oh, he lost the football. And this is going to be a turnover. The defense forces the big play.
Third down, you could see he may have been trying to simply do too much to help his side. It loosened his hold on the ball and gave that defense a chance to knock it free. Instead of facing fourth down, they're off the field completely.
The Chargers are being led back out on offense by Justin Herbert here. And this is some quality film review right here. Look at this. Couple of touchdowns, good amount of yards, too. He's been moving them down the field like only he can, putting together quite the game for himself in the process. So just like all touchdowns, all turnovers also reviewed, and they want to take another look at this one. Yeah, pretty bang-bang play out there. It's tough to see exactly what happened on our first look in real time.
But you know what I like here, and I do appreciate, and these officials are so good at let the play just play itself out before calling it dead. Now all the replays and the camera angles will give us such a better idea of really what happened.
After review of the play, ruling on the field is
So the review saves them a turnover. He was, in fact, already down when the ball came free. Now a run by Sanders. And he's going nowhere there. Add that to what's been a tough afternoon for him. So the run doesn't get the yardage. It's a turnover on downs.
You know, it's almost like the defense heard that call in their helmet themselves. They dialed up the perfect blitz to encircle and cut off that run. And their reward is getting off the field.
The Chargers offense getting set to take over. And taking a look at these highlights, Brock, just a reminder of the type of game that they have had throwing the football. It really has been the key to their success.
Yeah, they've just not only stayed on schedule here, Kate. Man, they've made some music, right? Great rhythm.
Yeah.
Not just ahead of schedule, but huge plays that followed. We've seen a lot of different looks and wrinkles throughout this performance, and it's been a joy to watch.
Ball at the 33 for first down. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And they'll take him down at the 43-yard line.
Well, that doesn't net a first down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
In a good spot here, second and inches. Running it again with Dobbins. And they'll make the stop up at the 46-yard line. A pickup of 2, maybe 3, but most importantly, Brock, that's enough to move the sticks.
That's certainly a spot where you could be more aggressive, Kate, if you wanted to take your shots. But some coaches, even the bolder ones, will take the safe play first when they get it from time to time. No third down required now.
First and 10, Herbert. Got a man, Palmer has it. And he pushes this down to the 42 before going down. This game has already been a good one for him, Brock. And hey, there's still time. He could add on even more.
And you just feel his aggressive mindset all game long. As long as there's time left, he's going to want to keep on firing and turn a good performance into a great one.
They'll run on first down with Dobbins. And defenders are there to get him at the line. Jack Thompson finishing that play off. We have an injured player down there, and with his history, we really hope this is nothing serious. It is J.K. Dobbins who was hurt on that one. Second and 10 now. He lobs it up, looking deep to the right side. They connect on the deep shot. Touchdown, L.A. Well, Brock, not much to say other than the fact that this offense on point. They are just clicking today.
Just rolling. I mean, this is clinic. This is what I call teaching tape. Being well prepared, and more importantly, going out there and executing at a high level.
Dicker on now for the PAT. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Chargers stretch their lead to 21.
Panthers 7.
The Chargers kicking team is out, and they'll put a charge into this one. Blackshear on the return. This return makes it up to the 25. The Panthers and Miles Sanders making their return to the field. They're down 21 now after that last score and in need of a comeback as we work through this game. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Young. Completed over the middle. And he'll get it out to the 34 before he's tracked down.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on 1st down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for 2nd down. And with 3rd and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
And he's brought down for a loss.
Kate, it's amazing how fast these guys are on the field and how fast your fortunes can turn. 2nd and short run, you're feeling good about yourself. But with a negative play, well, now comes a critical 3rd down.
They go right back to Sanders. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
If only this defense could look like that on every play, Kate. They were angry, motivated, focused. And they took that anger out on him and this offense, forcing a 4th down.
Punt team is on now, and they get this away. And little to nothing on that return as the coverage team gets to him. Call that a booming 56 yards in the end. And the Chargers take possession. Here's Herbert, 1st and 10. Chark there to haul it in. Avoids a defender. We've got a foot race. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. 3/4 in the books from this one. The Chargers have possession and a massive lead. This one looking like it could be over. Great start to the drive. They're up in the neighborhood of midfield after just one play. First and 10. Here's Herbert. He's on the move. Well, the pressure nearly got to him, but still a good play defensively as that one falls incomplete.
You need to buy your receivers enough time to get open along their route, and your quarterback enough time to find and hit them with the throw. When the line doesn't hold up, incompletions follow.
And he'll have it down to the 44-yard line. We'll get a stoppage now. Looks like we have someone banged up after that run in need of some attention. Here we go, 3rd and less than a yard. Sticking with Edwards here. And he's going to be brought down at the 35-yard line. Now after the run, we see some trainers headed out for an injured player who was shaken up. They're set up at the 35 now. Throwing on first is Herbert. Finds McConkey. And he's stopped at the 31-yard line. This is the type of performance a former quarterback, just like yourself, Brock, can marvel at. He's carried a great performance through much of this game. Even as the defense adjusted, tried to slow him down, none of it mattered.
I like the way you say that right there, Kate, because these moments the game does slow down. It is so fast on the field for the normal person, but when a QB's in a rhythm like this, the game is slow and he is dicing it.
An all-around tough play for him. He took a shot on the release, and it definitely affected the throw. It's incomplete. No connection on the last play, and now it's third down. Herbert from the gun. Able to hit Palmer, complete. And he'll get it down to the 24-yard line. 6 yards on the play and enough for a first.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your third downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
It's Herbert once more. Buys time, rolling right. And look at the footwork there, touchdown! The Chargers put up even more points in a win. Exactly the play they were looking for, Brock. They saw it, and he put it right on the money.
Yeah, it really was a perfect play. This is what it looked like in practice, but more importantly now to get it done in game time, that's what you're looking for. Amazing when it all comes together.
Dicker on now for the PAT. Near that right upright, but it sneaks in. And the Chargers continue piling on to this lead. The Chargers kicking team is out, and they'll put a charge into this one. Return starts at the 3. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. The Panthers set to take the field. They were only on the field for 3 plays their prior series, Brock. Let's see what changes they make to take over here. To the air on first down, Young. And he's just going to get rid of this one. Smart move there. When you saw the field, it's going to be second down.
Those passes get more and more difficult as you try to get aggressive downfield. I love the call. I love pushing the ball down the field. But the windows in the throwing lanes aren't there long. And it only takes a little bit for a throw to be off.
And he's brought down after a short gain. Extra defender in the secondary now for the Chargers. Third down coming. From the pistol, it's Young. Makes the grab in bounds, left side. Touchdown, Carolina! The Panthers putting up points in a game decided. Xavier Legette with the touchdown. I love plays like this, Brock. Sometimes you just gotta ask your dude, show me what you got, man. Show off those wheels, and he did just that.
Yeah, beauty in simplicity, right?
Yep.
Now, when you run that fly route, you gotta win right from the jump. You gotta protect yourself from the sideline, too. Don't get pushed to the boundary. Give your quarterback room to throw it up, and you can find pay dirt.
That one splits the uprights. And the Panthers cut the lead by a quarter, down now to 21. With time ticking away, they prepare for a must-get onside kick. And no problem for the Chargers. They cover it up. And he's going to be brought down after reaching the 43. Well, I guess they kind of had to do it here, Brock.
Yeah, it's called a have to. Yeah, kind of have to at this point of the game, huh?
Okay, but like most things in this game, it did not work out for them.
Yeah, let's face it, even if they do recover that, probably not going to find a way to win. But this is a time where you work on things, where you do build to the following week. Got to find a way to flush this because it's just not been their kind of game.
Good run, gets him 7. That brings up 2nd and 3. We've reached the 2-minute warning from Charlotte. Chargers moments away from a 2-0 start. 2nd and 3 now. On the ground, it's Edwards again. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away. Third and a lone yard coming up. Edwards on the shotgun handoff. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
Win the early battle. Get a little leverage. Low man wins off the line, and that's all that was needed to ensure that first down right there.
He brings the offense up now for a 1st and 10. Running behind center with Edwards. And he'll get down to the 21-yard line before he stopped. Call it 7 yards, and now they'll have 2nd down and 3. They'll try the right side with Edwards. And they bring him down at the 18-yard line. So the Chargers take this one on the road. And they can be proud of their exploits on the road and overall so far this season as they improve to 2-0. So for my partner Brock Heward and our entire crew, I'm Kate Scott, saying this has been the NFL on EA Sports. So long, everybody. It's a win for the Chargers as we say so long from Charlotte.